Hello and welcome to this video on brewing on a budget. A choice, or perhaps a forced choice at the moment, that seems more prescient and necessary than ever. Things seem to cost more and more every day, and certainly homebrewing is by itself not necessarily a cheap hobby, but the end results are significantly cheaper than buying a watered down piss most people call Budweiser. Homebrewing, at least beer particularly, allows you to create custom brews at home, and often, if not nearly always, for less than the cost of store-bought craft beer. A typical 20-litre or 5-gallon batch will yield about 50 to 60 bottles, the equivalent of roughly 2 cases, and it'll only cost you $30, maybe $50 ingredients. That is admittedly after initial equipment setup, so be aware there is a substantial initial investment. But for those who are budget conscious, especially for beginners, starting with extract brewing and using pre-made kits it can save you considerable money and be relatively easy by comparison. It's a method requiring simple recipes, let's call them, minimal gear, and you can get fairly solid results without any complicated skills being required. Obviously, as you gain experience, you can upgrade what you're going to be doing, going from purely extract-based brewing to brew in a bag, and then aiming for that holy grail of all-grain brewing. This is still affordable, but offers more control at least. The entire process, from brew day to drinkable beer, should take you somewhere in the ballpark of 3 to 4 weeks. And your actual, let's say, active or working time is actually only about 4 hours in total. The key budget principles we're going to look for are things that are household items, ideally, allowing you to buy either used equipment or buy equipment that is available in more places for less. And of course, shop at your local homebrew store. They can often offer you deals and maybe reusable gear. So your initial setup might run $100 all the way up to $200, but that will vary based on what you're buying and to an extent who you're buying from. But also bear in mind that you are paying considerably less for your beer than you would if you were to buy it, so if you were to look at this as a cost-saving measure, you pay that off fairly quickly. Now, once you've paid it off, you'll basically bring your cost down to about $1 per bottle. First of all, avoid anything fancy, and particularly if it's automated. These are going to cost you a lot of money up front, and, well, you don't need them yet. What you want to aim for is something easy and cheap. So as we mentioned, use malt extract to start with. And this is better than raw grains initially, simply because, well, they're readily available and they're cheap. And they do much the same thing. You are losing some of the nuance and specialty stuff, don't get us wrong, but for initial brewing, this is a nice easy way to get in the door. The kit will cost you $30 to $50 and it has everything you'll need. It's also ideal if, say, you're in an apartment or other similar small space. So, the alternative being a brew in a bag. This is the budget-friendly all-grain method where you mash your grains in a bag inside your brew pot. A pot being something literally as simple as just a giant stock pot. This is more hands-on, but it saves you money long-term by, well, partially using bulk grains, which you can buy in bulk, and, well, obviously you are then able to save money there, but you don't need fancy equipment. And then finally you have the all-grain, which is the most complex, and you need separate mash tuns and more again, so not great places to start. So start with extract and build up from there. It gives you confidence, and you're not investing hugely in something you don't need to invest into. For equipment, get your essentials. Most of these can be bought from a store that provides kitchen supplies, and cheaply from online or local stores. Your total cost, let's be generous on the low end, $100, and on the high end, we're looking at maybe $300, particularly with brew in a bag use. Plus, you'd be able to get bottles with that. So you're probably going to need some sort of brew kettle, giant stainless steel pot, nice and easy. Your fermenter, something like a 6-gallon food-grade bucket with a carboy and lid. That's 20 litres effectively. A sanitizer, thermometer, hydrometer, which technically is optional, but we strongly suggest buying it. You need a big spoon, you need a bottling bucket, racking, cane and tubing, your bottle capper, your bottles, and you can get away with that for the most part. For brew in a bag specifics, you may also need to add a brew basket. This is another $50 or so. The prices vary. We've seen a bit of fluctuation. And then silicone gloves for handling hot bags. If you then look at your ingredients, for a fairly basic 5 gallon or 20 litre batch, you're looking at water, then your malt extract, then you have your priming sugars, and that's it. That's all you really need initially. And again, this can be as little as $30. A simple English ale or pale ale is very forgiving, and you don't need much else. You'll probably need to get hops for it, but it depends on what comes in your pack. Stepwise, well, sanitize everything, fire is your friend, and then you start brewing. Heat 2 to 3 gallons, this is 8 to 12 litres of water in a kettle. Bring this up to somewhere in the ballpark of 150 to 170 freedom units for 20 to 30 minutes. Remove, add your malt extract, and stir to dissolve. Bring to the boil again, and add in hops. For example, bittering hops at the start, aroma at the end. Boil for 60 minutes. Your recipe will tell you exactly when to add them. For brew in a bag, heat 6 to 8 gallons. This is roughly the equivalent of 24 to just over 30 litres of water, and strike the water to the target temp, roughly 150 freedom units. Add your grains in your nylon brew bag and mash for 60 minutes. You may need to insulate the pot. Then lift the bag out, sparge it by rinsing it with hot water, and then you've extracted all the sugars you can out of it. Then boil the wort with hops for about 60 minutes. Same idea, just slightly different approaches. Add it to your fermenter with your yeast, and possibly yeast nutrient if it's required. Seal it up and wait 2 weeks. Up to 2 weeks is perhaps more accurate. This should then come out with something that's able to be bottled, and you'll spend a couple of hours bottling it. Remember to add priming sugar, because if you forget that, it will not be carbonated beer, it'll be flat beer. After letting it carbonate for 2 weeks, or thereabouts, you then put it in the fridge for a few hours to a day, and you have cool, chilled beer, and ideally leaving sediment at the bottom. There are some tips, however, and particularly common mistakes that you want to avoid. Sanitation. Your biggest error ever is going to be skipping this. It's going to lead to sour beer or off beer. You can use no-rinse sanitizers, which means it's much easier to do and you have a lot less hassle. Next is temperature control. Yeast hates heat, or excessive heat we should say. So ferment below 75 degrees Fahrenheit, or essentially roughly 25 degrees Celsius, although it depends if we're talking about an ale or a lager, but that's another issue again. Keep your records. Log everything going in, the temperature, and taste. It's also worth us pointing out, which is somewhat important, that brewing in a bag does have a different degree of efficiency versus other ways of extracting your sugars or sparging versus everything else. You're basically looking at about 70% efficiency. There's a bit of range in it, so between roughly 60, 65, all the way up to 75%, but just assume 70% to make life easy for yourself. That means you need to adjust any recipes you have based on that, and it's an important thing to remember. If you are going to be sparging though, or brewing in a bag, consider budget sourcing, buying kits from homebrew shops or online. This can allow you to save a bit of money. Start simple and build up. Then you have, practice. We say practice in that you're going to be brewing quite a bit. But once you get it down, you can brew fairly good beer, if not really good beer, for pennies per pint. The other thing to be aware of is buying in bulk. Now, we'll be very clear about this. You can buy most of what you need in bulk if you brew regularly. However, and this is a big however, the grains you use if you're doing essentially brew in a bag will gradually oxidize and become less useful. If we're talking purely about malt extract, not so much. Further, you can reuse yeast from batches. There's also various places you can find to figure out what's going wrong and how with your brew. Reddit, our channel for example, there are all sorts of places online. And finally, watch for boilovers. Safety first. Burns sound all well and good until you have them and you realize that they are a lifelong scar that will never go away and will constantly cause you pain and agony. And start with something simple to begin with. Going too complex right away will be way too challenging, way too much of a problem, and you're going to be going oh shit before long and just give up, and have spent a lot of money getting into something that you've just abandoned. But bear in mind, with just a little bit of practice, you'll be able to brew good quality beer reliably, regularly, and for almost nothing, at least by comparison to buying beer. And if you experiment and find something you're comfortable with, you can just keep doing the same thing again, and tweaking it as you need or want, until you get exactly the thing that you want to enjoy on a nice, sunny, calm afternoon at the end of doing whatever you have to do that day, or weekend. Thank you for watching. If you found it interesting, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And please do post any comments, questions, or suggestions you have below.